Hey seniors, trust you had a great time on your senior trip. Miss seeing you guys here at school, but hopefully we'll be able to be back in school in just a few weeks and I'll get to see you guys before you graduate. Today we're going to be starting off with lesson 62. We'll be talking about abstract coefficients. We've talked about a couple different kind of abstract problems throughout this year. Remember we did abstract rate, we did abstract distance. Remember those are the questions that involved a bunch of letters and they have those weird kind of answers. We'll see those kind of problems today in our lesson as well. Just to kind of get you thinking along the right track of what we're doing in our lesson today, just want to review just a basic equation with you. Something like 2x plus 4y is equal to 50. We know in that equation, the x and y can take on different values. They're called variables. They vary from equation to equation. Those numbers, however, 2, 4, and 50, those are always going to be 2, 4, and 50. There's never anything that's different about them. What we're going to see in our problems today, we're going to be talking about systems of equations. Remember, a system of equation is something that looks like this. And this is the kind of question we've talked about before. Our 2x minus 3y equals 5, and 3x plus y equals 35. We've talked about some different methods about how to solve those, and probably the one that we're most familiar with is our elimination method. Well, in elimination, we have to have opposites in order to cancel things out. Our equation currently does not have any, so the easiest way to get opposites on this equation, or on this problem, is to take that bottom equation and multiply it through by 3. That will make our opposites on the y. After I multiply that bottom equation through by 3, it now turns into 9x plus 3y is equal to 105. Now that we have those opposites on the letter y, we're just going to add those two equations together. We have our 2x and 9x making a total of 11x. The y's are gone because they're opposites, and 5 and 105 gives us a total of 110. Looking for the x, just simply divide by 11, and that gives us that x is equal to 10. Once we found one of our answers in our system of equation, we just simply put it back into either of the original equations to find the other. Since we have x, I'm going to choose the second equation, just makes it a little easier to solve for the y there. Replacing our x with the number 10, and I continue to solve, and that gives us that y is equal to 5. Notice in this system we got two real answers because of the numbers that were in our original system. Well, in today's questions, this is now what our problem is going to look like. There's going to be letters instead of the numbers. Instead of saying 2x plus 4y, the question now says ax plus by. Still the same method. We're still looking for opposites on our variables. That way we can cancel them out. Just a couple notes about how the textbooks write these with our constants as opposed to variables. They're going to use the letters from the beginning of the alphabet, like our A, B, and C, where the numbers used to be, and then our variables are still going to be at the end. X and Y are usually the ones that we're going to see in the question. Now, one thing that will be different about our questions today, as opposed to what we've done before, we're only going to be looking for one of the two variables. We're only going to be solving for x or y, so we won't be doing that back substituting that I just showed you on that last question. Let's go ahead and take a look at this first example together. If my job is to solve for y. Well, notice in this system, I currently don't have any opposites. Well, if my job is to solve for y, that means I want to get rid of the x in the question. To determine what I need to do to make opposites on the x, I need to see what does the other equation have that this first one does not have. Well, the second equation in front of that x has the letter d. So I need to take my top equation and I need to multiply it by d. Now it will contain the same variable or the same constant as the second equation. The second equation, well, what is that missing? It's missing the letter a. But remember, we're looking for opposites. One has to be positive, one has to be negative. So I'm going to take the second equation and I'm going to multiply it through by negative a, so we have those opposites in our question. If I take the top equation, multiply by a, you can now see what I have across the board there. I'm multiplying by d on that top equation, and then multiplying by negative a on the second. Notice we now have those opposites on the x. Once we have our opposites on our variables for the x, we can cancel them out and add the two equations together. What we're left with, that bdy and aey, those aren't like terms, so we can't put those together, so they're just going to have to go side by side. The same thing on the right side of the equation, those aren't like terms either. Now remember, we're trying to solve for y. The y's are all on the left side of the equation, but they're inside both of those terms. So what am I going to have to do to get them out of both of those terms? I'm going to have to factor it out to the front. I pulled that y out, leaving us with the other four pieces there, the bd minus the ae. Well, if my job is to get the y all by itself, I now need to just simply cancel that multiplication. So I divided both sides of my equation by the bd minus ae. And there is our final answer for the y in our question. Remember, this is an abstract question, so our answers are going to look in this format. They're going to involve a bunch of different letters, and that's okay. Most of these equations are going to involve fractions that will not simplify. How do I know that it doesn't simplify? All four pieces that are inside of that fraction do not contain the same letter. Rarely will that happen, but do keep a lookout for that just in case your fractions do simplify at all. Again, we're not going to take that back in and substitute for the y to find the x, and we're pretty glad that we don't have to do that because that would be an absolute mess. Let's just try one more example together. I think you guys will get the hang of this pretty easily here. Let's do one that we're going to solve for x in our question. Again, if my job is to solve for x, that means I need to cancel out the y in our question. To cancel out the y, I need to look, okay, what does the other equation have that I need to put into the second or the first equation, depending on what I'm doing. If I start with the first equation, it's missing the b2. So I'm going to take that top equation, multiply it by b2. The second equation is missing the b1 that's in front of the y. Again, I need opposites, so I'm going to have to multiply by negative b1 in our question. Here's my new problem once I do that multiplication. Notice the y's are now opposites. They have the exact same pieces with our opposite signs. They're going to cross off. Just like we did last time, I don't have any like terms I can put together, so we're just going to write those two pieces of each side of the equation next to each other. The x that I'm looking for is in both of those terms on the left side of the equation. Once again, I need to get it out of both of those terms. I'm going to factor it out to the front, leaving us with that a1b2 minus a2b1. My job, getting the x all by itself, is going to require me to divide, so I divide just like the last question, and there again is our answer for x. We can't reduce, none of those pieces match, and that will be our final answer. Again, we're not back substituting. We are only going to be looking for one of the variables in the question. Make sure on your homework you do read the instructions carefully so you know, are you supposed to be solving for x or are you supposed to be solving for y? Now, you may be wondering, well, why do I need to know how to do this abstract equation, these abstract coefficients? Coming up with, I believe it's lesson 66. We're going to take these equations that we're working with here today, and we're going to see how we actually can use these formulas at the end to help us in solving a system of equations without using the methods that we've done before. Well, I hope that makes sense to you guys. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to contact me, and I'll be glad to explain it further to you. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.